welcome to all of you who are joining. It's very nice to see you all here. So today we're welcoming, I would say, if that's okay with you, an old friend of ours, Gale Crosley, who has presented both CPAI about 2-3 years ago, was also extremely popular with her 2 excellent presentations in our AGM in Dubai last October. Gale really is one of the references in the accounting industry. I mean, she has herself a background as an auditor at Arthur Andersen PwC. She's also worked in technology at IBM and various technology startups. So she really does know what's going on. She's worked with, well, hundreds of accounting firms, managing partners in particular worldwide. She's worked with networks and associations. And I think, to be, as they say, what Gale doesn't know about managing accounting firms may not be worth knowing. She certainly her focus has always been very pragmatic about how do you grow your firm. I mean, the reality of it, no theory, this is about the reality. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, is about growing your firm through and after COVID.
Having been through many difficult times myself, including the dot-com bust and then helping firms after the Great Recession, this is another example of where some firms thrive and some don't, because the firms that don't, generally their strategy, their growth strategy of choice, Clive, is to ride market conditions. And you see the chart, you know, the up and down chart of year after year growth of CPA firms. And so what they do is, if conditions are good, they thrive, and if conditions aren't, then they struggle and suffer. But the ones who are really astute and knowledgeable know that there's a different way to grow or to look at growth, and that is by applying what I call generally accepted growth principles. And they are as immutable as GAAP or GAS. And as a former auditor, I'm very aware of this. They're not codified anywhere in one place like GAAP or GAS, but they are principles nonetheless. And if you know what they are, then what happens is you can apply them in difficult times and in good times and stay the course.
So imagine, I mean, you're in a firm where you know you've got to change your strategy and your growth strategy, and you may actually have identified which direction it should go, but it's not really happening. I mean, what things tend to prevent firms from actually going through with it? What have you seen that is stopping people from actually implementing and taking that leap?
Oh, probably the critical piece here is the managing partner and their ability to get the rest of the people, you know, on the bus and keep them on the bus. And it happens really one at a time. When I'm working with firms, I tell the managing partner that there are 3 people that are the most important to the success of the program: the managing partner, the marketing director, and me. And the 3 of us are responsible for its success. All those other people are somewhere on the curve, and it's our job to figure out where they are, how to get them through this, who to rely on to start the curve, and keeping it on track so that when we run into obstacles, which we do through the transformation, that we identify the obstacle and we wrestle the obstacle to the ground. I call them boulders in the road. And that we're aware when boulders are so big, and this does happen, where boulders are so big that we have to stop and pivot and do something different in order to get through that piece of it, but to not give up. You know, when we have the messy middle, I call it, and it's predictable, we're going to have a messy middle where, you know, everything looks like it's just kind of upside down and this isn't going anywhere. To trust the process, just like you trust the principles of generally accepted accounting principles, and you trust them, and generally accepted auditing standards, and you know what the process is, and you can get through it. It looks very similar to that, actually, to a big fat, nasty, messy audit. I will give you hope that all the things that I'm talking about right now are they're learned skills, and they're learned, you know, they're knowledge that you have and skills that you learn, just like anything else. And when I was with Arthur Andersen, my first job out of college, they sent me off to school for about a year back and forth to St. Charles, Illinois, to learn how to audit. And then after I left public accounting, I joined IBM, and IBM sent me off, you know, for a year off and on away to school to learn how to sell. And so all the things that I'm talking about today are things that can be learned. And when I changed my career, they were after me for about a year to hire me to sell. And I said, excuse me, but I'm a CPA, I'm a professional. So no, I'm not going to sell. And after about a year, they said, these are big accounting machines, okay? These big computers, and you're a CPA, so you know this stuff. We can teach you how to sell. We can't teach you how to be analytical. My point to you is that these are absolutely learned skills. So all the firms, dozens, if not hundreds of them now that I've worked with, they have transformed. Many of them transformed from just, you know, a CPA firm, an accounting firm who's doing their thing, to truly on fire with growth, with a wonderful future in front of them, hiring the best people, having the best clients, being the most profitable, taking home the most money, and having a sustainable future. And so I say that there is hope if you have the enthusiasm and desire and commitment to be the most successful, sustainable accounting firm, that it is absolutely something that can be done.